Ten little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8. 8 little soldier boys travelling in Devon. One said he'd stay there, and then there were 7. 7 little soldier boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in halves, and then there were 6. 6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one, and then there were 5. 5 little soldier boys going in for law. One got in chancery, and then there were 4. 4 little soldier boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3.
What's happened? Armstrong's disappeared. What? Vanished clean off the island. Vanished, that's the word. It's like some damn conjuring trick. Nonsense. He's hiding somewhere. No, he isn't, I tell you. There's nowhere to hide on this island. It's as bare as your hand. There's moonlight outside, as clear as day it is, and he's not to be found. He doubled back into the house. We thought of that. We've searched the house too. You must have heard us. He's not here, I tell you. He's gone, clean vanished, vamoosed. I don't believe it. It's true, my dear. There's one other little fact. A pane in the dining-room window has been smashed. And there are only 3 little soldier boys on the table. 3 people sat eating breakfast in the kitchen. Outside the sun shone. It was a lovely day. The storm was a thing of the past. And with the change in the weather, a change had come in the mood of the prisoners on the island. They felt now like people just awakening from a nightmare. There was danger yet, but it was danger in daylight. That paralysing atmosphere of fear that had wrapped round them like a blanket yesterday, while the wind howled outside, was gone. Lombard said, "We'll try heliographing today with a mirror from the highest point of the island. Some bright lad wandering on the cliff will recognise SOS when he sees it. I hope. In the evening we could try a bonfire, only there isn't much wood. And they may just think that was a song and dance merriment. Surely someone can read Morse, and they'll come and take us off, long before this evening. The weather's cleared all right, but the sea hasn't gone down yet. Terrific swell on. They won't be able to get a boat near the island before tomorrow. Another night in this place. May as well face it. 24 hours will do it, I think. If we can last out that, we'll be all right." Blore cleared his throat. "We'd better come to a clear understanding. What's happened to Armstrong? Well, we've got one piece of evidence, only 3 little soldier boys left on the dinner table. It looks as though Armstrong had got his quietus." "Then why haven't you found his dead body?" "Exactly. It is damned odd. No getting over it." "It might have been thrown into the sea." "By whom? You? Me? You saw him go out of the front door. You come along and find me in my room. We go out and search together. When the devil had I time to kill him and carry his body round the island? I don't know, but I do know one thing." "What?" "The revolver. It was your revolver, and it's in your possession now. And there's nothing to show that it hasn't been in your possession all along." "Oh, come now, Blore, we were all searched." "Yes. You'd hidden it away before that happened. Afterwards you just took it back again. My good blockhead, I swear to you that it was put back in my drawer. Greatest surprise I ever had in my life when I found it there." You asked me to believe a thing like that. Why the devil should Armstrong, or anyone else for that matter, put it back? I haven't the least idea. It's just crazy. The last thing you would expect. There seems no point in it. No, there isn't. You might have thought of a better story. Oh, rather proof that I'm telling the truth, isn't it? I don't look at it that way. You wouldn't. Look here, Mr. Lombard. If you're an honest man, as you pretend. Oh, when did I lay claims to being an honest man? No, indeed, I never said that. If you're speaking the truth, there's only one thing to be done. As long as you have that revolver, Miss Claythorne and I are at your mercy. The only fair thing is to put that revolver with the other things that are locked up, and you and I will hold the 2 keys still. Lombard lit a cigarette. As he puffed smoke, he said, Don't be an ass. You won't agree to that? No, I won't. That revolver's mine. I need it to defend myself, and I'm going to keep it. In that case, we're bound to come to one conclusion. But I'm Ewan Owen. Think what you damn well please. But I'll ask you, if that's so, why I didn't pot you with a revolver last night. I could have, 20 times over. I don't know. That's a fact. But you must have some reason. Vera had taken no part in the discussion, but she stirred now. I think you're both behaving like a pair of idiots. What's that? You've forgotten the nursery rhyme. Don't you see there's a clue there? She recited in a meaning voice. 4 little soldier boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3. A red herring, that's the vital clue. Armstrong's not dead. He took away the China soldier to make you think he was. You may say what you like. Armstrong is on the island still. His disappearance is a red herring across the track. You know you may be right. But if so, where is he? We searched the place outside and inside. Yes, well, we all searched for the revolver, didn't we? We didn't find it. But it was somewhere all the time. There's a slight difference in size, my dear, between a man and a revolver. I don't care. I'm sure I'm right. Rather giving the game away, though, isn't it? I mean, mentioning a red herring in the verse. He could have written it up a bit different. Oh, don't you see? He's mad. It's all mad. The whole thing of going by the rhyme is mad. Dressing up a judge, killing Rogers when he was chopping sticks, drugging Mrs. Rogers so she overslept herself, arranging for a bumblebee when Miss Brent died. It's like a horrid child playing a game. It's all got to fit in. Yes, you're right. Well, at any rate, there's no zoo on the island. He's going to have a bit of trouble getting over that. Don't you see? We are the zoo. Last night, we were hardly human anymore. We are the zoo. They spent the morning on the cliffs, taking it in turns to flash a mirror at the mainland. There were no signs anyone saw them, no answering signals. The day was fine, with a slight haze. Below, the sea weaved in a gigantic swell. There were no boats out. They had another abortive search of the island. There was no trace of a missing physician. Vera looked up at the house from where they were standing. One feels safer here, out in the open. Don't let's go back into that house again. Not a bad idea. We're pretty safe here. No one can get at us without us seeing them for a long time beforehand. We'll stay here. But we've got to pass the night somewhere. We'll have to go back to the house then. I can't bear it. I can't go through another night. You'll be safe enough, locked in your room. I suppose so. Oh, it's lovely to feel the sun again. How odd, she thought. I'm almost happy. And yet I suppose I'm actually in danger. Somehow, now, nothing seems to matter. Not in daylight. I feel full of power. I feel that I can't die. Blore was looking at his wristwatch. It's 2:00. What about lunch? I'm not going back into the house. I'm going to stay here, in the open. Oh, come now, Miss Claythorne. You've got to keep your strength up, you know. If I even see a tinned tongue, I shall be sick. I don't want any food. People go days on end with nothing sometimes, when they're on a diet. Well, I need my meals regular. What about you, Mr. Lombard? You know I don't relish the idea of tinned tongue particularly. I'll stay here with Miss Claythorne. Blore hesitated. I shall be quite all right. I don't think he'll shoot me as soon as your back is turned, if that's what you're afraid of. It's all right if you say so. But we did agree we wouldn't separate. You're the one who wants to go into the lion's den. I'll come with you if you like. No, you won't. You'll stay here. So you're still afraid of me. Why, I could shoot you both this very minute if I liked. Yes, but that wouldn't be according to plan. It's one at a time, and it's got to be done in a certain way. Well, you seem to know all about it. Of course, it's a bit jumpy going up to the house alone, and therefore will I lend you my revolver? Answer, no, I will not. Not quite as simple as that, thank you. Blore shrugged his shoulders and began to make his way up a steep slope to the house. Feeding time at the zoo. The animals are very regular in their habits. Isn't it very risky what he's doing? In a sense, you mean? No, I don't think it is. Armstrong's not armed, you know, and anyway, Blore is twice a match for him in physique, and he's very much on his guard. And anyway, it's a sheer impossibility that Armstrong can be in the house. I know he's not there. But what other solution is there? There's Blore. Oh, do you really think? Listen, my girl. You heard Blore's story. Now, you've got to admit that if it's true, I can't possibly have had anything to do with Armstrong's disappearance. His story clears me, but it doesn't clear him. We've only his word for it that he heard footsteps and saw a man going downstairs and out at the front door. The whole thing may be a lie. He may have got rid of Armstrong a couple of hours before that. How? Well, we don't know. But if you ask me, we've only one danger to fear, and that danger is Blore. What do we know about the man? Less than nothing. All his ex-policeman's story may be bunkum. He may be anybody, a mad millionaire, a crazy businessman, an escaped lunatic. But one thing is certain. He could have done every one of these crimes. Supposing he gets us? Lombard patted the revolver in his pocket. I'm going to take very good care he doesn't. Then he looked at her curiously. Touching faith in me, haven't you, Vera? Quite sure I wouldn't shoot you? One has got to trust someone. And as a matter of fact, I think you're wrong about Blore. I still think it's Armstrong. Don't you feel all the time there is someone watching and waiting? That's just nerves. You have felt it, then? Tell me, you don't think... I read a story once about two judges that came to a small American town from the Supreme Court. They administered justice, absolute justice, because they didn't come from this world at all. Heavenly visitants, huh? Well, I don't believe in the supernatural. This business is human enough. Sometimes I'm not sure. Well, that's conscience. So you did drown that kid after all. I didn't. You've no right to say that. Oh, yes, you did, my good girl. I don't know why, can't imagine. There was a man in it, probably. Was that it? A sudden feeling of lassitude, of intense weariness spread over Vera's limbs. Yes, there was a man in it. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Vera sat up suddenly. What was that? It wasn't an earthquake? No. Queer, though. A thud shook the ground. I thought... Did you hear a sort of cry? I did. They stared up at the house. It came from there. We'd better go up and see. No, I'm not going. Well, please yourself, I am. All right, I'll come with you. They walked up the slope to the house. The terrace was peaceful and innocuous-looking in the sunshine. They hesitated there a minute. Then, instead of entering by the front door, they made a cautious circuit of the house. They found Blore. He was spread-eagled on the stone terrace on the east side, his head crushed and mangled by a great block of white marble. "Whose is the window just above?" "It's mine. That's the clock from my mantelpiece. I remember now. It was shaped like a bear." Philip grasped her shoulder. He said, and his voice was urgent and grim, "This settles it. Armstrong is in hiding somewhere in that house. Well, I'm going to have to get him." "No, don't be a fool. It's us now. We're next. He wants us to look for him. He's counting on it." Philip stopped. "There's something in that." "At any rate, you do admit now I was right." "Yes, you win. It's Armstrong, all right. But where the devil did he hide himself? We went over that place with a fine-tooth comb." "If you didn't find him last night, you won't find him now. That's common sense." "Yes, but he must have prepared a secret place beforehand." "Of course, it's just what he would do. Like a priest-hole in an old manor-house." "But this isn't an old manor-house." "He could have had one made. We measured the place that first morning. I'll swear there's no space unaccounted for." "There must be." "I'd like to see." "Yes, you'd like to see. And he knows that. He's in there, waiting for you." Lombard said, half bringing out the revolver, "I've got this, you know." "You said Blore was all right, but he was more than a match for Armstrong." "He was, physically, and he was on the lookout, too. But what you don't seem to realize is that Armstrong is mad. And a madman has all the advantages on his side. He's twice as cunning as anyone sane can be." Lombard put the revolver in his pocket. "Come on, then." Lombard said at last, "What are we going to do when night comes?" Vera didn't answer. "Well, you haven't thought of that." "What can we do? Oh, my God, I'm frightened." "It's fine weather. There'll be a moon. We must find a place up by the top of the cliffs, perhaps. We can sit there and wait for morning. We mustn't go to sleep. We must watch the whole time. And if anyone comes up towards us, I shall shoot." "You'll be cold, though, perhaps, in that thin dress." "Cold? I should be colder if I were dead." "Yes, that's true." "I shall go mad if I sit here any longer. Let's move about." "All right." They paced slowly up and down along the line of the rocks overlooking the sea. The sun was dropping towards the west. The light was golden and mellow. It enveloped them in a golden glow. "Pity we can't have a bathe." Philip was looking down towards the sea. He said abruptly, "What's that there? You see, by that big rock? A little further to the right. No, further to the right." It looks like somebody's clothes." "A bather, eh? I suppose it's only seaweed." "Let's go and look." "It is clothes," said Lombard as they drew nearer. "A bundle of them. That's a boot. Come on, let's scramble along here." They scrambled over the rocks. "It's not clothes. It's a man." The man was wedged between two rocks, flung there by the tide earlier in the day. Lombard and Vera reached it in a last scramble. They bent down. A purple, discoloured face. A hideous, drowned face. "My God, it's Armstrong." Eons passed. Worlds span and whirled. Time was motionless. It stood still. It passed through 1,000 ages. No, it was only a minute or so. Two people standing looking down on a dead man. Slowly, very slowly, Vera Claythorne and Philip Lombard lifted their heads and looked into each other's eyes. "So, that's it, is it, Vera?" "There's no one on the island. No one at all. Except us two." "Precisely. So we know where we are, don't we?" "How has it worked? That trick with a marble bear?" "Conjuring trick, my dear, a very good one." Vera thought, "Why did I never see his face properly before? A wolf That's what it is. A wolf's face. Those horrible teeth. Lombard said, and his voice was a snarl, dangerous, menacing. This is the end, do you understand? We've come to the truth now, and it's the end. I understand. She stared out to sea. General MacArthur had stared out to sea only yesterday. Or was it the day before? He too had said, this is the end. He had said it with acceptance, almost with welcome, but to Vera the words, for thought, brought rebellion. No, it should not be the end. She looked down at the dead man. Poor Dr. Armstrong. What's this? Womanly pity? Why not? Haven't you any pity? I've no pity for you, and don't expect it. We must move him. Carry him up to the house. Oh, to join the other victims, I suppose. All neat and tidy. As far as I'm concerned, he can stay where he is. Well, at any rate, let's get him out of reach of the sea. If you like. He bent, tugging at the body. Vera leaned against him, helping him. She pulled and tugged with all her might. Not such an easy job. They managed, however, drawing the body clear of the high water mark. Satisfied? Quite. Her tone warned him. He spun round. Even as he clapped his hand to his pocket, he knew that he would find it empty. She had moved a yard or two and was facing him, revolver in hand. So that's the reason for your womanly solicitude. You wanted to pick my pocket. She nodded. She held it steadily and unwaveringly. Death was very near to Philip Lombard now. It had never, he knew, been nearer. Nevertheless, he was not beaten yet. Give that revolver to me. Come on, hand it over. His quick brain was working. Which way, which method? Talk her over? Lull her into security? Or a swift dash? All his life Lombard had taken the risky way. He took it now. Now look here, my dear girl. You just listen. And then he sprang, quick as a panther. Automatically Vera pressed the trigger. Lombard's leaping body stayed poised in mid-spring, then crashed heavily to the ground. Vera came warily forward, the revolver ready in her hand. But there was no need of caution. Philip Lombard was dead, shot through the heart. Relief possessed Vera. Enormous, exquisite relief. At last it was over. There was no more fear, no more steeling of her nerves. She was alone on the island. Alone, with 9 dead bodies. But what did that matter? She was alive. She sat there, exquisitely happy, exquisitely at peace. No more fear. The sun was setting when Vera moved at last. Sheer reaction kept her immobile. There had been no room in her for anything but the glorious sense of safety. She realized now that she was hungry and sleepy, principally sleepy. She wanted to throw herself on her bed and sleep and sleep and sleep. Tomorrow, perhaps, they would come and rescue her. But she didn't really mind. She didn't mind staying here, not now that she was alone. Oh, blessed, blessed peace! She got to her feet and stared up at the house. Nothing to be afraid of any longer. No terrors waiting for her. Just an ordinary, well-built modern house. And yet, a little earlier in the day, she had not been able to look at it without shivering. Fear. What a strange thing fear was. Well, it was over now. She had conquered, had triumphed over the most deadly peril. By her own quick-wittedness and adroitness, she had turned the tables on her would-be destroyer. She began to walk up towards the house. The sun was setting. The sky to the west was streaked with red and orange. It was beautiful and peaceful. The whole thing might be a dream. How tired she was, terribly tired. Her limbs ached, her eyelids were drooping. Not to be afraid any more. To sleep, 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 sleep. To sleep safely, since she was alone on the island. One little soldier boy left, all alone. She smiled to herself. She went in at the front door. The house, too, felt strangely peaceful. Ordinarily, one wouldn't care to sleep where there's a dead body in practically every bedroom. Should she go to the kitchen and get herself something to eat? She hesitated, then decided against it. She was really too tired. She paused by the dining-room door. There were still 3 little china figures in the middle of the table. "You are behind the times, my dears." She picked up 2 of them and tossed them out through the window. She heard them crash on the stone of the terrace. The 3rd little figure she picked up and held in her hand. "You can come with me. We've won, my dear, we've won." The hall was dim in the dying light. Vera, the little soldier clasped in her hand, began to mount the stairs, slowly, because her legs were suddenly very tired. One little soldier boy left all alone. How did it end? Oh, yes. He got married, and then there were none. Married? Funny how she suddenly got the feeling again that Hugo was in the house. Very strong. Yes, Hugo was upstairs waiting for her. Don't be a fool. You're so tired you're imagining the most fantastic things. Slowly up the stairs. At the top, something fell from her hand, making hardly any noise on the soft pile carpet. She did not notice that she'd dropped the revolver. She was only conscious of clasping a little china figure. How very quiet the house was. And yet it didn't seem like an empty house. Hugo, upstairs, waiting for her. One little soldier boy, left all alone. What was the last line again? Something about being married? Or was it something else? She came to the door of her room. Hugo was waiting inside. She was quite sure of that. She opened the door. She gave a gasp. What was that? Hanging from the hook in the ceiling? A rope with a noose. All ready. And a chair to stand upon. A chair that could be kicked away. That was what Hugo wanted. And, of course, that was the last line of the rhyme. He went and hanged himself, and then there were none. The little china figure fell from her hand. It rolled unheeded and broke against the fender. Like an automation, Vera moved forward. This was the end. Here, where the cold, wet hand, Cyril's hand, of course, had touched her throat. You can go to the rock, Cyril. That was what murder was, as easy as that. But afterwards you went on remembering. She climbed up on the chair, her eyes staring in front of her like a sleepwalker's. She adjusted the noose round her neck. Hugo was there to see she did what she had to do. She kicked away the chair.
3 little soldier boys walking in the zoo. A big bear hugged one, and then there were 2. 2 little soldier boys sitting in the sun. One got frizzled up, and then there was 1. 1 little soldier boy, left all alone. He went and hanged himself, and then there were none.